2 months after the state's botched execution attempt on death row inmate Tonya Carruthers, his sister is now suing the doctor who performed it for malpractice and torture. She says the botched execution attempt caused a brain stroke that partially paralyzed Tonya Carruthers. The suit accuses the doctor of not following state protocol, which they say led to complications and ultimate failure. We've reached out to the State Department of Corrections to comment on this, and we'll let you know when we hear back.
A group of Tennessee faith leaders is putting new pressure on Governor Bill Lee, urging him to halt executions in the state. They say executions should remain on hold until Tennessee makes major changes to its execution process. The group argues the state's current protocols are unreliable, unprofessional, and in some cases inhumane. They also say a recent execution prompted them to speak out.
I have walked with people in their final hours. I have prayed with victims' families. I have witnessed firsthand the profound weight that executions place on every person they touch. And today, I stand with faith leaders from across Tennessee with a very simple request: that the state can assure Tennesseans that the catastrophic failure that occurred with the botched near execution attempt in May will not happen again.
Governor Bill Lee talked all about this last week in Knoxville. This was his first public comment on all of it. Take a listen.
It should not affect executions in the future, and those victims of the most heinous crimes in our state deserve to have justice there. The people of Tennessee have spoken about that.
Tennessee's next execution is scheduled for September 30th for the state's only woman on death row, Krista Pike. As for Tonya Carruthers, he was granted a 1-year reprieve after that failed attempt.